Hi there, welcome to my video, the next in a series called Fundraising Building Blocks, where we take a look at all of the essential elements to creating a successful fundraising strategy at a small nonprofit. Today, we're going to discuss finding your people, what this means, why it's important, and how to get started. My name is Kim Peterson. I work with small nonprofits to help them build community and raise money for amazing causes. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I also have links in the description to connect with me in other ways. Let's go. A lot of fundraising comes down to two questions: why you need to raise money and who you're going to ask. How you're going to ask, of course, is also important, but I would argue that these first two questions are the most important because there are 1,000 hows out there. But if you don't have a compelling reason, the why, and you aren't asking the right people, the who, it's not going to get you very far. It's like organizing a charity car wash, but not telling anyone about it or saying what it's for. In the first video, we talked about the case for support, which is your why. And here we're going to talk about the who, finding your people. So fundraisers actually have a very basic framework that they use when trying to determine who to ask for a donation of any size. It's an acronym, LIA. It stands for linkages or links, interest, and ability. Linkages or links means how someone is connected to your organization. Ability is whether someone has the financial capacity to give at a certain level. But in the early stages of fundraising, it's interest that is going to be the primary indicator we're using. Before everything else, someone has to have interest in your cause, your organization, and what you're trying to accomplish. You know what you do is important. The cause is a driving force in your life. Not everyone shares this passion. There are some people who have zero interest in it, in fact. And that's okay. No one or nothing is going to appeal to everybody unless you're chocolate. And even then, some people don't like chocolate. But there are others out there who do get it. Your organization holds values that they also consider really important. Your organization is active in the community in a way that they're also active, used to be, or wish they were. You're a match. This is what it means to find your people. Identifying and connecting with others who hold the same values, who want what you want, and who have an interest in being involved in the same capacity. In most cases, if someone is not interested in what you do, if their values do not match those of your organization, they're not going to engage, they're not going to attend any events, they're not going to support you. These are not your people. It's best to spend resources on creating deeper connections with the people that are interested in what you do than it is to try and convert those who have no interest. Your people are the ones who are going to follow you on social media, read your newsletter, attend events, volunteer their time, and yes, donate money when they're asked. This is why I have it as the second video in my Fundraising Building Blocks series. If you don't have a group of people behind you who love what you do and who are somewhat invested in your cause, fundraising in the community is going to be very difficult. Sometimes I have people come to me with ideas for these amazing projects that are going to help change lives. And the first thing I ask them is, do you have a network of support? Do you have other people who are helping you? And if the answer is no, then the first thing I recommend that they do is to start building that group and that network, because these challenges that we're trying to address with charity and with nonprofits are too big to face on your own, and you really do need a whole network of support behind you before you can go and fundraise a lot of money for your cause. I would also venture that corporate fundraising is going to be difficult too, because corporations are also filled with people, and sponsorships are marketing vehicles that require an audience to have any value. Grants and foundation fundraising is a whole other story, so we're just going to put a pin in that one for now and talk about fundraising in the community. So with revenue sources other than grants and foundations, such as annual giving, major gifts, events, and corporate giving, yes, it's super important to know and understand who your people are so that you can communicate with them in a way that is preferred and effective, and so that you can attract more of your people to your network. And then closely linked to this is your system for connecting with your people, gathering and organizing the data that helps you to build your community. So that means names, email addresses, phone numbers, in order to fundraise effectively. Connect is actually the second stage in my donor journey framework, and I have some free resources for that linked in the description below if you want to learn a little bit more about the donor journey and the connect stage. So chances are you have already started finding your people. You've got social media followers, you've got newsletter subscribers, volunteers, event attendees, maybe even some donors, and so on. If you imagine your community like a funnel, you'll see a large number of people at the top, so social media followers, newsletter subscribers, and smaller numbers as you work toward the bottom, volunteers, event attendees, and donors. As you go down, you'll also have stronger connections and deeper relationships, as these are the people who are more involved with your charity, and you know them better. Some people will enter the funnel at the bottom, but it's more likely that they're going to start at the top and move down. So if you understand the interests and motivations of those who are at the bottom, you can leverage this information to attract others who enter at the top, and then start to move them down. Here are some ways to build community at your nonprofit and find your people. Create valuable content that people find interesting, useful, or produces positive feelings to share on social media and in your newsletter. Be active at community events that align with the mission of your organization or that are attracting your people. Form partnerships that allow you to tap into existing networks that consist of your people. Network in person and online. Actively build relationships with people in one way or another who raise their hands to say, yes, I love what you're doing and I want to help. You can certainly fundraise as you build your community of supporters, but what I'm guessing you'll see is that the amount you're able to raise increases as you identify and connect with more of your people. The how is important for fundraising, but without the why and the who, it's not going to work very well. In the first video of this series, we looked at the why, your case for support. Here, I went into who, finding your people. So please note that this is an ongoing process and it takes time to build a community of supporters. This is an incremental process, and if you already have this community or the start of this community, that there are always going to be opportunities to get to know them better and build deeper connections that will improve fundraising efforts and create more meaningful relationships for the supporter. That's all for this video. Thanks for joining me here. Feel free to check out the resources I have for you in the description below. If this has been helpful to you, consider subscribing to my newsletter, Fundraising from the Ground Up, for more tips on fundraising for small nonprofits. See you next time.